Have you ever wondered how two of the most devastating wars in human history reshaped the world forever? In this video, we'll journey through the complex and dramatic events of World War I and World War II, unraveling the causes, the key battles, and the aftermath that still echoes in our lives today. Let's dive into this epic story of humanity's darkest yet most transformative hours. The roots of World War I trace back to a world tangled in alliances, nationalism, and imperial ambition. The late 19th century saw Europe's great powers, Germany, Britain, France, Austria-Hungary, and Russia, in a precarious dance of competition and cooperation. The spark? The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in Sarajevo, 1914. But this was no simple murder. It was the match that ignited a powder keg built over decades. Alliances activated, pulling nation after nation into the fray. What began as a localized conflict spiraled into the Great War. World War I, fought from 1914 to 1918, was unlike anything humanity had seen. Soldiers faced the horrors of trench warfare, where victory was measured in inches, not miles. Poison gas, machine guns, and artillery turned battlefields into hellscapes. Take the Battle of the Somme in 1916. Over 1 million men were wounded or killed for just a few miles of land. Meanwhile, the war wasn't confined to Europe. It spread to the Middle East, Africa, and the seas. Yet, amidst the carnage, the world began to change. The Russian Revolution in 1917 toppled the Tsar and birthed the Soviet Union. The United States entered the war the same year, bringing fresh troops and tipping the scales. By 1918, the Central Powers collapsed, leading to the Treaty of Versailles. But this treaty sowed the seeds for the next great conflict. Germany's economy was shattered, its pride wounded, and its people desperate. The 1920s were a time of both recovery and excess. But beneath the surface, the world was simmering. The Great Depression of the 1930s devastated economies worldwide, creating fertile ground for extremism. In Germany, Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party promised to restore glory, exploiting fears and resentments. Across the globe, Japan expanded aggressively in Asia, and Italy's Mussolini dreamed of a revived Roman Empire. The League of Nations, created to prevent future wars, proved powerless against these rising tides. World War II began in 1939 when Germany invaded Poland. This act shattered the fragile peace, as Britain and France declared war. Germany's blitzkrieg tactics overwhelmed Europe, and by 1940, much of the continent was under Nazi control. In the Pacific, Japan's expansion led to the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, bringing the United States into the war. This global conflict spanned continents and seas, with key battles like Stalingrad, D-Day, and Midway turning the tide. The war ended in 1945, but not before unleashing horrors like the Holocaust and the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The cost? Over 70 million lives lost. The end of World War II marked the beginning of a new era. The United Nations was established to prevent future conflicts, and the Cold War divided the world into East and West. Technological advancements born out of necessity during the wars laid the foundation for modern society. But perhaps the greatest lesson is this: the cost of war is immeasurable. The scars of World War I and II remind us of humanity's capacity for destruction and resilience. From the trenches of the Great War to the atomic age, the story of the world wars is a reminder of the fragile balance of peace. Understanding this history isn't just about looking back, it's about shaping a better future. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.